Hey, what's up everybody? Unreal from Unreal Gaming here, coming at you with a brand new video with Need for Speed Heat and my Porsche 911 GT2 RS. The reason I'm coming at you with this video so abruptly is because I actually had to remove my other one. The one that I posted a few days ago received a copyright claim, not a strike, but a claim by the artists who did one of the background music tracks for this game. Funny how they don't like their music being heard by people who play the game that their music is in. Anyway, because of that, I decided to go ahead and remove the video to avoid any kind of complications going forward. So what I've done this time is I've decided to start the video just like any other one, but this time I'm going to be running through the entire gameplay session here without any music whatsoever, so that way there will be no complaints unless Porsche decides that they want to copyright their exhaust sound. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the video and I appreciate your understanding about the lack of music. Let's get started. We're going to choose my Lamborghini. Usually this screen is a little bit cooler with some background music, but I should probably stop beating that dead horse.
Hey, track's set up and waiting for you. All you gotta do is show. And try not to lose.
Let's see what kind of events we have. While I'm going through the map here, I'd also like to point out the latest Need for Speed news. And that is that Need for Speed Heat has actually received its very last update, from what I understand. We received a new update, we being the Need for Speed Heat fans, received a new update on June 8th, and the most noteworthy thing of the update is going to be the fact that they added crossplay, similar to Call of Duty, so that you can now hang with your friends who happen to be playing an Xbox, PC, PlayStation, whatever console you're on, doesn't matter anymore, and now you can all crossplay, which is great. So that's definitely some good news. The bad news is we didn't get any new vehicles, we didn't get any expansions to the maps, we didn't get any new story content, and that's really a shame because I had some really high hopes for this game going forward. But unfortunately, it's one of those scenarios where, because of some changes to the development studio that Electronic Arts has made, Ghost Games is kind of no longer a thing, and Criterion is going to be in charge of making the next Need for Speed game. So, since they're starting basically from scratch with a new set of developers, save for a few that they've probably been able to move over from Ghost Games, it's a scenario where all the people involved with Criterion are going to be focusing on the new game, so they're taking all their attention away from this existing game, putting it on the new one. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? For the new game, I mean, that's good. I'm glad they're going to be putting a lot of focus into it. Hopefully it's going to be a better product for it. But for those of us who just got this game recently, it's pretty disappointing. The deluxe edition of this game didn't promise any real feature content. It was more about access to a handful of cars as the story went on, and also about some legs up when you were going through the story and leveling, whether it's experience, reputation points, money in the bank, etc., those sort of things. It's really what the deluxe edition was for, so I suppose in that perspective, EA doesn't really owe us anything, but it's really disappointing considering how good of a game this was. The fact that the story was so good compared to pretty much all the previous entries. The unique location was great. Really great change from the fictional places like Rockport or some of the random mini-maps you'd get in some of the older Need for Speed games, like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 3, or excuse me, Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit, rather. So, it's a shame to see this game go. Hopefully that means that we're going to have a new product, bigger and better than ever, sometime in late summer, maybe fall, something like that. We'll see when they can actually get the next game out the door, but I'm hoping they do it right. I'm hoping what that car is doing over there. Right on. Looks like I'm blocking the traffic, so why don't I start this race? hopefully the development team will get the next game right and give us some ongoing support instead of milking this as a yearly franchise like EA already does with Battlefield, or you know, Activision already does with Call of Duty. I suppose I'll give EA a little bit of slack with Battlefield because they have let a couple of their games run for a couple of years instead of just doing the yearly release, but you get the idea. You'll have to forgive the poor driving performance. It's been a while since I played this game on the regular. I just got inspired to pick this up and play this a few days ago. Then lo and behold, the update comes out, and lo and behold, it's going to be the last update I found out today. Whoa. I cannot keep this stupid thing on the track. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the, whoa. Oh, nice. That's nice. That's real nice. I'm not a fan of the handling characteristics in this game in regards to taking hard corners. I think I pointed out during my review of this thing that the handbrake turns that you make, the power slides, a lot more difficult to engage than they were in previous games. Most racing games, in fact, of any type, rely on you using the handbrake to make a handbrake turn. Imagine that. This game, you're now expected to double tap either the throttle or the brake. You have the capability, oh, for crying out loud, that's the second one in a row. You have the ability to change which you use, either double tap of the brake or the accelerator, to make yourself do a power slide while you're already moving. As a result of that, though, it makes your vehicle harder to control, even harder than my vehicle is right now to control. I can barely keep it on the road, as you can see. So as a result of that, I think it makes power sliding a lot more difficult than it needs to be. Not to mention you have to deal with the inherent issues of having to constantly deal with a car that's either not set up for the specific race you're about to do, or having to just reset your car all the time. I usually maintain one setup for my barely stole that win. Stole that victory. I generally keep my car set up in one particular configuration rather than change it out all the time, and that's just me being lazy. I would maintain a separate configuration for something that's specifically a drift car, but for what I do out here, my main thing is winning races, and you know, regardless of whether it's going to be a time trial scenario, a sprint race, race with multiple laps, I'm always interested in having a car that can really stick it into corners, good top speed, etc. So my handling is usually not very loose, but you know, that is going to change depending on the vehicle. Let's, speaking of handling here, let's see if I can find another course I can handle. No, I don't want to do drifts. There's got to be something out here worth doing. Yeah, why not? We'll go to Valkyrie. Whoa. See, here, let me slow down here. You'll notice how twitchy this car is at even a little bit of speed. Once you finally get this thing up to higher speeds, it's more controllable, which is kind of odd. It's almost like an F1 car in that sense. Okay, there you go. High heat level. Fair enough. What I may want to do eventually on this video is break out my Porsche, or maybe my Ferrari, because those cars do tend to be able to adapt to corners a little bit better at the lower speeds. You could probably call them a bit more tail-happy in a certain sense, but I think they're more manageable overall. The Lamborghini Huracan, which I love dearly, is most definitely a missile. It drives like one. It's huge straight line speed, very twitchy. and very explosive. As evidenced A, by the raw power, and B, all the fire coming out of the back of it as I'm screaming down the road here. Let's start another race real quick here. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get the cops involved. I'm not looking to ram any patrol cars quite yet. See if I can let these pursuits happen naturally. Ah, it's a pretty car. It's amazing when they include some of the cars in these higher-end races like the Mustang GTs, and you know what, I respect Ford, especially with the latest editions of some of their cars, including the Mustangs, for giving it a lot more engine power. Oh. Speaking of the police... Whoa. Yeah, not anymore, you don't. As I was saying, I respect Ford for really putting a lot of effort into giving their, even their base V8s a lot of power. So a stock Mustang GT now is really powerful once again, which, you know, for a number of years it really wasn't. If you think about those Mustangs from like the early to mid-2000s, the ones that were kind of Kirby shaped before they went back to the retro styling of the 60s and 70s, those things produced really bad power. The GTs were only producing like 260 horsepower, which is pretty abysmal considering they had a giant 5-liter V8 in them, and models from decades prior produced more power than that. Now, thankfully, Ford, as well as Chevrolet and Chrysler, are all kind of back on the right track. Now they're offering you loads of power for pretty affordable prices, I gotta say. But backtracking to what I was initially talking about at the start of the race, I'm surprised that they're just really offering the GT in this race when that's not really the powerful Mustang. You have to keep in mind that there are Shelby products out there, the GT350, the GT500, that give you way more power and would actually be potentially very competitive with a Lamborghini, especially in a straight line. But looks like that opponent of mine back there settled with just a normal Mustang GT, although presumably he's got some kind of mods under the hood to try to even things out. But so far, even with moderate difficulty, that doesn't seem to be the case. Oh. If anything, they're going to win because of my stupidity and my inability to drive, not because my car is any slower. What I'm looking to do is see if I can build this heat level up so I can get a special parts race. Bring something back to the garage before I call it quits and go do some daytime racing for some money. I'd like to buy a new car at some point because really, who doesn't like new cars? Build that speed up. I'm gonna pray I don't hit anything. Like that. Not bad though, that could have ended way more catastrophic fashion. Take what I can get. Ah, and there's a cop waiting for me right at the finish line.
Don't try to run. I won't pass up another chance to stop this one. Control, I'm in pursuit again.
Oh, I don't have to try to run.
Don't let him creep away.
There we go.
Get out there and find that damn car.
Oh, I don't know who he thinks he's kidding there. I don't have to try to run. I was already doing close to 200 miles an hour as it was. Let's see what we got here. We got a race up ahead worth doing. Oh, heat level 3 race. Booyah, I'm on it. Once again, right next to a patrol car, but hey, that doesn't matter, right? This undoubtedly is my favorite part of the map.
Next time they won't be so lucky.
Don't know how they got away.
Back to work, everyone.
Alrighty. This part of the city is undoubtedly my favorite, and you know what, as cool as the map is in a grand scheme of things, as I said during my review of this game, I'm not all that impressed with how much the city comprises of the map. the city's really tiny, and especially with the speeds that you're going to be doing in these cars in the later, parts of the game when you have access to the Lamborghinis and the high-end Porsches and whatnot, you're going to be going through the city so fast. High heat race, I get it. You're going to be blowing through the city so fast that you're going to miss it if you blink. And the rest of the map is pretty much just dark countryside, and that's no bueno. I would much rather have the cool neon lights. These bright neon lights that you see down here really are what make this map look like the early screenshots you saw, or the trailers that you saw, rather than being out in the middle of a dark series of hairpin turns out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, come on. What's Left of Ghost Games said that they did do some updates to the police AI in this game, so we're going to see... Whoa! Almost went in the water. Oh, I'm going to probably lose this race. I'm way far behind now. They did say that they did some updates to the police AI in this game, so we'll see how extensive those updates really are. Oh, come on! Seriously! This is not going well for me at all. Come on, get on that handbrake, man. This car's not responding the way I want it to. Once again, much like the line I had in my review, these cars tend to stick to your rear end like glue if you're doing any less than the speed of sound going down the road. The only way to really lose them in this game on a permanent basis is to either be doing Mach 100, or you're going to have to, good lord, you're going to have to go off-road. Because just being fast or taking unexpected sharp turns is not enough. The cops will stick to your tail, even in the most basic of cruisers, including the Crown Vics, which are horrendously slow. You think of a Crown Vic, I mean, you're talking 0 to 60 time of like 7 seconds. It's a big V8 like the Mustang is, but that, the Crown Vic V8, I think that was like 230 horsepower, 235, something like that. Embarrassing. Oh, I did so bad in this race. I think this is the first race I've ever had in this game where I came anything below third. Man, was that bad. I'm glad that I have the part, but man, I do not want to, God, that bothered me that I lost that race. Is that one gone? Yeah, that's gone. I'm not going to be able to do that again. Man, that is really frustrating. Alright. Get out of the way, thank you. And of course I can't go to the garage because I have a single patrol car in my ass. Oh, get out of the way, come on, you can see the headlights and the police lights coming, I know you can. Okay, where are said stingers? Not seeing them on my radar, and I'm not seeing them with the naked eye either. What? What did I hit? What on earth was that? Did anybody see what I hit? I did not see that thing at all. I have no idea what my car just struck and flipped over. That is ridiculous, man.
Do your damn job, Control, and send some extra units.
Good luck. I sent some units up to back you up.
Oh my goodness. My car is everywhere but the road. That's a pretty decent lead. I should be able to get away from these guys now.
Driver's gotta be nearby. Get looking.
Oh, man. Almost to heat level 5 without realizing it.
Nobody's got eyes on the suspect, so I'm calling it a wash.
Guess we're not gonna catch this one. Damn.
Alright.
I think it's getting tougher out there.
One beat up Huracan later. Man, I am not happy with myself for losing that race. I gotta go get another one in me.
You just got a new allocation of parts. They're better than what you got right now.
Alright, consider it equipped. Tell you what, speaking of which, let me turn cars around. Maybe I'll do a little bit better with one of the others. Take a look at my Ferrari real quick. Wow, brings it right up to 400 plus. It's been a long time since I've driven that thing. Let me go look at my Porsche here. Performance. Did I miss something? Okay. Let me go back to... I'm going to try that Ferrari, see if I can do a little bit better in that thing. I do like cash and everything, but I got to redeem myself after that night race. I wasn't doing too bad at the very beginning, but as soon as I got launched off the road and into those sandy embankments on the end of the beach there, that was the end. I gotta find something else to do in the meantime. I've done that race to death. Yeah, not looking to buy the McLaren just yet. Tell you what, we'll go do Eagle. Everybody likes the 488. Wouldn't quite call it the ultimate Ferrari, but I would probably say this is the best daily driving Ferrari that you can get right now. So if you're a Ferrari fan and don't want to buy a brand new one, you can still get a fantastic experience buying a 458. If I could have any Ferrari in my choice, I feel like I would want something like the 812 Superfast, just to be a little bit different, because whenever I see a Ferrari on the road, it's generally, in the real world anyway, it's generally going to be like, you know, 458, or, you know, old 360, or Ferrari 430 or something like that. I have seen a Ferrari GTO a couple of times, which I think are kind of ugly, to be quite frank. And I've seen one or two of the Ferrari 575s. But I have yet to see a Ferrari F12, which I love. I have yet to see a Ferrari Superfast V12. I'm trying to remember. I want to say I've seen a Ferrari FF in the real world. I do not think I've actually seen a 488 in the real world. But, you know, the 458 was wildly popular. I assume the 488 is going to, you know, be the same within a matter of another couple of years. Probably the roads are going to be saturated with them. Alright. Hopefully I can do a little bit better. See if I can bang out a couple of these street races, make it up to a high heat race, and take a first place spot in that. Yeah, that's enough of that. We got some good cars in here. Got a nice BMW. Got a, it's like one or two of the R8s. Oh, Murcielago. Okay. Yeah, this definitely feels different than the Lambo. A little bit less responsive on the initial input for handling, but it follows through. Oh, that was really close. Gotta keep this thing on the road. Well, you know, it's like my average drive to and from work. Knock over a few signposts, go through a couple of fences. Break the sound barrier. And then parallel parking on the driveway. Okay, yeah, this thing's a little bit easier to slide. I don't have to use the handbrake as much. Old habits do die hard, though. There we go. That's what I call grip right there. That's much better. Cut that one a little too close. Whoa! Traffic, man, I'm telling you. Oh, get out of the way! Seriously. If you're gonna pull over, then pull all the way over. Don't just hang out in the road. Get out of the way. Careful. Careful, careful, careful. Car's losing control. Oh, oh, oh! Ah, God, man. If I did that in a high heat race, that's it right there. That would be the end. Okay. God, look at this poor thing. It's smashed to pieces. Oh no, that's the one I just did. I don't want to do that a second time. Let's see, what else do we got? Yeah, that would be my luck, wouldn't it? Okay, why didn't you place a marker down like I asked you to? God, this thing is smashed to hell. Look at this thing. Don't mind me, just passing through. God, that thing looks like it's been in a horrible accident. Which it has. Several of them, in fact. See if I can finish this, and then maybe afterwards I'll go repair this at a gas station before a challenging race. Oh, this... I hate this one. I've done this one before. Going behind the buildings and over the dirt roads. And I'm going to have cruisers on my ass for half of this race. Come on, get out of the way. Wow, look at all those police cruisers hanging out on the mini-map there. It's deceiving though. It's like I mentioned in the video that I now deleted. The mini-map in here is completely useless. The cars on these things look like they're basically off of the road, like they're, you know, parked a couple hundred feet away from where the cars actually are. As a result of that, it makes taking turns that much harder too, because you figure, oh, I'm planning on a turn on the next block, and then you overshoot it, or you undershoot it, because you say, oh, it's coming up. And you get the extra thick lines. And you shoot right past the turn and go, what the hell, now I have to double back. And it's weird because you get these games that aren't based in the world of racing necessarily, but they feature cars. Be it, you know, something like Grand Theft Auto, or, you know, if it's even like Ghost Recon, if you have a mini-map, the vehicles on the map are, you know, pinpointed better than they are in Need for Speed, which is a very long-standing racing series. So, you know, looking at it from that standpoint, if Electronic Arts is going to make Criterion Games focus that much more on the next game at the price of ignoring Heat, then, you know what, maybe it's for the better. I have a hard time getting away from all these. Actually, laughed a couple of the cars, it looks like. Alright. Now I gotta go find a garage and a high heat race. If I'm eligible, I should be. I feel like I should be.
The driver managed to outrun every cop out here.
Spread out and search for that vehicle. They can't have gotten far.
Notice on that mini-map too, a second ago, they really turned down that that speed big time. Let's go see if I can get to that gas station. As soon as that pursuit was terminated, those cars cut their speed in half, like, pronto. Uh-oh, see, now look at this. It looks like that cop car is off the road. I can clearly see that he's right there.
Subject in sight.
take those off. Do I have any kind of a high heat race I can go to? Yeah, it's heat level 5. Is there anything for a little bit lower? 3, 4, nothing? There's one.
Doing it.
Gotcha. Requesting backup immediately.
Prefer to escape these guys
Reinforcements are
first.
headed your way.
At least that way I can go to the racing location at my leisure.
Damn it. The subject flew past us and kept on going.
Get your brooms out and sweep the area.
Let's see if I can get myself over to that race area in the meantime.
Chasing our tails here. Pursuit's over.
Letting him get away is not how I wanted to end this chase. Just saying.
You know what? I did not even notice that cruiser coming up. I'm gonna have to unfortunately pass this cruiser to get to where I'm going. Yeah, you know what? It didn't restart the chase, so it's all good by me. He was trying to catch up to me. I could see that on the mini-map. One ambulance, 2 ambulance, 3 ambulance. Once again, bringing up another point from my review, there were only, at least at launch anyway, there were only seven cars that could be used as, where was that? Is he underneath me? Yeah, I think that was underneath. There are only 7 cars that could be used for regular passenger vehicles in this game. There we go. Hopefully I can do better in this one. I gotta win this one. I gotta redeem myself for that loss earlier. Oh, the lit fire is being apropos for the high heat race. Alright. Come on, Ferrari, don't let me down. I'll try not to let you down. Ford GT, Lamborghini. I don't even know what that thing is. Whoa. Hey, don't knock me off the road now.
I have a positive ID on the subject from our prior chase.
Oh, get out of the way, dude.
I want everybody back
Get
on
out
the
of
driver
here.
ASAP. Don't let him get away again.
It's amazing how these cars can just glide through the, I was gonna say enemy vehicles, the AI vehicles like that, no problem. I'm ricocheting off of each and every one of them. You'd figure the first place guy would trip up on occasion. On these high heat races, they really don't. They're weaving through here like it's nothing. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, dude! Get out of here, seriously. Oh, somebody rammed me. Get back on the road, come on. Believe it or not, I'm actually not very big into ramming other vehicles. I try to like a nice clean race. Trying to ram them off the track is a bad sport move in my opinion. Yep, and I got second. Not happy, man. Did not do what I needed to do.
They're gone, so screw it. Gonna see if I can get some race events on social media I can send you to instead.
I keep searching till the sun comes up. Sounds like that's not what we're doing.
Pretty good. Sometimes the main thing is to keep your name fresh in people's minds.
Skip all that and see what I got. Nitrous. I like it, but I'm not going to do the big tank. Not a big fan of that
Are you ready
myself.
for some more parts? Check them out.
But we change out my car again. We'll go with the Porsche this time. That lack of I'm gonna say that lack of music, that really makes this loading screen to get there a lot more lifeless. Let's see what we got for events around here. There's gonna be something else I can do. Well, I recommended 400. I'll give that a try, why not? From 9/11. You know, I just saw one of these race against a, well, I don't know how that happened. I just saw one of these race against a classic Porsche 917 on a track. It's a segment from the Grand Tour, I believe, and man, that was really interesting how that old race car fared so well against the modern 911. You figure the better engine, the better transmission, the better tires, the better suspension, that this car would just annihilate those old race cars from the 60s, 70s and whatnot, but you know what? That was a real competitive race. The GT3 or the GT2 RS, whatever model that particular one was, that did ultimately win the race, but not by much. Not a big fan of drifting, in case you can't tell. I'm interested in grip. And I need a lot of it, because I can't keep myself on the road lately. Saw something highlighted on the map. What was that? Huh. Waypoint for no apparent reason. Let's get in this race here. Nice lineup. Another Porsche, Lamborghini, Corvettes, BMW, it looks like. Whoa. Again, it's amazing how these guys can get around traffic like that without running into anything. Except me. They got no problem running into me. Oh, come on! Get out of the way, seriously. Tried to avoid all the cars and I still end up clipping something. It's awesome. Come on, get going. No, don't you dare. Come on! You've got to be joking me with that. Much like the Lamborghini, this thing does not want to stay in a straight line at low speeds if I so much as touch the steering wheel. Alright, I gotta repair this stupid thing. Come on. Did I just do that one? Valkyrie. Go up to cutting corners. Yep, sorry, got something to do, not stopping.
I found them. Repeat, I have eyes on their vehicle.
Yes, you have eyes on me at 164 miles per hour in a Crown Vic. I don't think so.
Turn this into a hide and seek. Go find them.
I'd love to do this, but not unlocked yet. Not quite at heat level 3. I swear every place I go there's a car waiting for me in cross traffic to bump into. If I didn't know better, I would say I have a giant magnet strapped to the front of my car. Target finish first, you don't say. Get out of the way. I don't think there was a single car that I didn't hit going through the lineup there. Not too impressed with the Porsche right now, I gotta say. This is probably the hardest to handle car that I've dealt with, even more so than the Lamborghini. Might have to switch back. is actually the best I've done in a little while. That's the reason why I don't have the big nitro tank on there, is knowing my luck, I'm going to hit the nitro, I'm going to smack into something that's going to stop me, and it's going to take a million years for my nitro to recharge. Oh, good lord. So for me, I got to have those little mini nitro tanks where I can use them sparingly. Or I can use them one after the other. Oh, what? Chase did... Okay, Chase started for what? What did I do that deserves... Okay. I don't think so. I'd like to know what I did that deserves Chase from this pursuing officer here. What did I do?
Hey, Control, get the guys to redeploying Spikes 101.
It's when you're chasing them real sharp surprises, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not. Get out of the way, please. Dude. I'm telling you. These basic cruisers that top out at 135 miles per hour max is going to stick to your end like glue, even if you're doing 180 like I am.
Suspects no longer. I've lost visual on the subject vehicle.
Suspect was last seen in the area. Start searching.
Alright. Let's see. You know, in a way, I'm kind of glad they chased me out here, because this will put me right towards the race I wanted to go to.
Looks like you lost him. I'm calling it off.
The next time would be a lot easier if you all actually tried.
Alright, let's see here. Perfect. Alright, everybody cross your fingers for me, please. I want to win this one. Completely botched the first one. Second one, I only got second place. I want to clinch this one. I want to make my battle-scarred Porsche proud. But buddy, you got to make me proud too, alright? I'm going to give you the key inputs of what I need you to do, and I need you to do it. Off we go. God, these cars are no mercy right now. Look at all the nitro they're using. Come on, get out of the way. Same old thing, man. I got a magnet on the front of my car. I'm hitting every single thing in front of me, and these guys managed to glide by without so much as a scratch. I don't know, they got no problem hitting me. Maybe I'm going to have to start racing dirty. Maybe I'm going to have to hit them. I like racing clean, but apparently that's not an option. Oh, come on, get on the road.
Just crossed paths with that driver from before. Resuming pursuit. This time, I'm already pissed.
John's the attention you're giving him. Come on, move it, everyone. I want him caught this time.
Why this car was so lucky to shift down on me. It's kind of odd. Once again, look at that mini-map. It looks like the car behind me is completely off the, Looks like he's doing what I'm doing. It looks like he's completely off the road. At least I got the excuse. I actually am off the road. He's not. That was odd. Whoa-ho!
Guess who's back on the floor? Control, I'm a coach. Job finding him. Now don't let him creep away again.
Good job finding them. Man, the city is lighting up. Look at all those police lights on the mini-map. Right on, do it to it, come on. You're almost there. Careful. Oh, come on! Every time, I swear to God. Every intersection. Okay, somehow I was actually in the zone long enough to actually win the race. Feel somewhat satisfied now. Question is, let's see if I can actually get back to the... Alright. I'll loop back around. Want to get back to the garage with this part, but I don't want to reactivate a police chase by doing it.
You got owned. You actually chasing them?
Are you serious? We're letting him go now? I did not sign up for a shit show like this.
Yeah, I'm not feeling as bad for losing those first couple of races. That was actually a good contest, that third one. Managed to dominate the leadership towards the end there. Ramming the cars seems to be the answers. Struck that second place car really hard, and I think I bumped into the first place one a couple of times lately, and that seemed to do it. Boom.
Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's tough.
Made myself a little bit of money as well, so let's see what I got for a part here.
Qualify for some more upgrades. See what you want.
Alright. Get my Porsche a little bit faster. What else we got here? Lambo. Lambo needs an upgrade, right? Of course it does. Yeah, I'm not putting that tank in, like I was saying before. Swap car, Ferrari. It's already 400 plus, but it's always room for improvement. Alright. Oops. I'll go back to my Porsche, why not? Alright guys, well on that note, that exhaust note, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I appreciate y'all sticking with me, and I appreciate y'all understanding that I had to go ahead and get rid of that last Need for Speed Heat video due to the background music. I made sure to mute the music this time, so hopefully everybody will be happy. And if EA has a problem with it, I guess they'll be too occupied working on the next Need for Speed game to notice. So until next time, I'm Unreal, and you just watch a stream with an average gamer. Take care, everybody.